It's we're officially on, but not on. This is the
all right, then.
this is the behind the scenes stuff that only the true fans get to see.
Right.
You know?
Oh, hey, Lil Dicky's got a new video coming out on the 19th.
Yeah, I saw that. So it's got a bunch of celebrities and stuff in it, apparently. Something for
It's weird.
birthday.
He didn't ask us to be in it.
It's true. Bastard.
Kind of weird.
What a bastard.
Yep.
God, this little like slight hack, bro. It's gonna be the worst.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know why, because whatever I've been dealing with, it's basically been gone. But right now, it's back.
Nice.
It's pretty terrific, really.
No, that's what AIDS does, man. Just
Yeah, no, right? I need that Magic Johnson medicine or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever he's got going on.
Yeah, you just blend a bunch of money up in a blender.
Exactly. Throw it all in the magic bullet.
Yep.
What are you doing? Making a $20 smoothie? Because it's made out of $20 bills.
It's probably $21 bills, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just
Oh, neat.
neat.
Well, I didn't realize this. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was something to talk about on the program.
Let's give them something to talk about. Talk about love. Love.
Well,
Something.
awful, my
I
friend.
know, right? All right. I'm going to go let my stupid dog back in. We ready to get this party started?
Yeah.
Beauty. All right, right back. Entertain anyone who's watching, which is probably nobody.
I will not. Mwahaha. Is there anybody out there? No, all right. Whew, good. Been all that pressure anyway. Oh, no. Slow down here. This is very strange. All right.
This might be the move right here, Brian. Cough drops on deck.
Oh, boy.
Man, just in case. Put that there. Yeah, I gotta clean my little desk here is becoming a disaster area. Meanwhile, Bell's trying to get on screen somehow. What a little bitch.
Whoops, sorry about that.
Sorry about what?
I had a site pulled up that I didn't so much mute.
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
I goofed.
Don't hear a thing there, Stuart.
All right, what the heck? Hit play just to see what comes up here. This is not the one I want it to be. Concern it. So are you all set then?
I'm ready to roll, baby.
All right, well, I guess let's do it then.
All right, let me go to the old opening. You ready, Brian? Let's do it.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swabs over there, so it glistens. Salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with a pentagram of kittens. Salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis, we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. On the frozen tundra, they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. The boys will let you know when there's a due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey, enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 403.
Sexiest podcast on the network with problematic coughing and stuff.
Yeah.
Sexiest podcast of TB, probably.
Probably.
I know, right? Just saying.
I want to see that rundown.
Yeah, I want to see our competition in this. Yeah. I can't imagine it's too great.
I feel like we got a shot at it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we can do it. I mean, if you look at the Vegas boards, the odds are in our favor,
Yeah.
you know?
I would think so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially now that Neil and Annalise are done podcasting.
Yeah, they had
I
TB?
think. Maybe that's why they're done. They're coughing up blood and stuff.
Wow, that's too bad.
It's the only way I can figure.
Wow. What a way to go. I mean, if you're going to go because of coughing up blood, you got to go out like Doc Holliday and Tombstone.
It's true.
Right? I mean, you just blaze a glory gunfight or something, you know?
It's,
Or, you know, just die randomly in bed.
either way, they're both pretty
Yeah.
dramatic. The
Right.
gunfight, the death in bed, whatever,
Yeah.
right?
But if you're going to die in bed, it can't just be quiet while you're sleeping. It's got to be like, you know, yelling at somebody, like yelling at the help or something like that. And
right.
threatening to, you know, take your cane across their backside.
You gotta do a very Shakespearean, like and death, and then you die.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is not my preferred way.
Yeah, while smacking the tray of whatever they brought you out of their hands.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I need 14 hot soups. I'm like, oh god, and they come this big tray, and there's like, and death, hot soup everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. You call that hot soup and just smack it
Yeah,
at
and
them.
then you die.
Next thing you know, they look like Skeletor, you know?
Ripped in blue.
Yeah, I was meaning more the skeleton
Oh.
face because it's burning off, but yeah. Yes, soup being thrown at them also made them like ripped
Yeah,
and
just
blue.
shredded. Wearing a loincloth.
Yeah, sounds about right.
For whatever reason.
All right. Very disappointed in this website, but I'll get to it later.
Rippedandshredded.com.
Duh. What other website would I be
Naturally. I should have known.
Come on. You know
I
me.
know, right?
So, yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So how's your week been?
It's been basically just me working.
That's hot. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nah. I mean,
Hot or cool,
that's why, like, I would love to have an official, like, day when we go live. So people would could plan for it, maybe.
Rather than us just willy-nillying it.
But it's like with my current job, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
I don't have I have a set schedule, but it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also don't have a set schedule because I get hit for overtime. You know, like today was my day off this week, basically. You know,
Fair enough.
But next week's good. It's my birthday, so I took a day off, so I got a bunch of time off next week. But
Yeah.
I mean, bro, yeah, I've come to the realization that while making decent money, it's not enough that warrants the amount of time that I'm there.
Right. Yeah. That's too bad.
You know, so it's like I got things in motion to hopefully get something a little more Like,
I'm gonna start robbing banks
yeah,
again.
exactly. I mean, I got a couple masks. You know,
Like, did we just get robbed by Slipknot?
yeah. What happened? That was sick.
That was pretty awesome.
But yeah, it's like, said I don't mind the job, but you know, it's a 40-minute drive. It's a 12-hour shift. That's 14 hours a day. I'm not home.
That's a kick in the pants for sure.
And
Yeah.
then, like this week when I worked fucking 6 days, it's like, granted, it's gonna be
almost might as well just stay in your car up
yeah,
there.
exactly. It's gonna be a nice paycheck, but
Yeah. Right.
I mean, but is it worth my life, man?
Yes.
You know, not to mention because, you know, I don't have my schedule's crazy and not set. Like now, like Leah moved in with Jeannie. So like I have one less, you know, my kid's gone now. It's like, that's a bummer.
Jeez, I keep hitting this dang
It
thing.
makes cool noise, doesn't it? See?
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
No, people can see me hitting it now.
I know you're
instead of just
constantly roundhousing it.
yeah,
But yeah, so it's, I don't know, man.
John Jones blows, you know.
It's interesting too because it's like, I know they see me as somebody that they can like, oh, this guy. I love the people I work with, but I work with a lot of mongoloids.
I think, in fairness, I'm pretty sure you've always said that.
It's true.
Like everywhere you work seems to have that
Yeah,
high level of weirdos.
yeah. So, but it's like, so, you know, like if my work, you're supposed to for the first 3 months just get on the line and do that, pack. That's all you're supposed to do.
Sure.
So the other day, my boss was like, "Hey, man, question for you." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "You want to learn how to tag?" I'm like, "Sure," because one, I'm thinking, wow, it means I'm not, you know, grabbing big sheets of glass.
Right.
Yeah.
I just picture he just smacks you in the dick and runs off.
It looked like a giant chasing a little fella because he's like 5'3" or something. Roar, coming after him.
You son of a bitch! I'm gonna get you.
But yeah, so it's like obviously they see something there if they want to be like, you know, all these other guys that you've been working with. Yeah, but you. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, I mean, joke's on them because I already am like, I'm not going to be here that much longer. Got some more hooks in the water, Brian. Hooks in the water.
I'm like, I hate it already.
Yeah.
Nah, that's
But for now, it works for now.
yeah,
I mean, quite literally, all the works.
yeah.
Boy. Yeah. But yeah, that's like, because, you know, this week I switched to nights. And those first couple days, man, I thought I was going to die coming home. Because I'm just like so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the part I can't get over with the way they do it is as you can't be alone in that.
Yeah.
You know? Like, even guys who've been there for, I don't know, 20 years or whatever, like just switching your sleep cycle, like, it's just not good for you.
And,
you know?
And you're supposed to get a whole weekend, you know?
Yeah.
And then I basically had like a day because I worked Friday and then I had Saturday off and then I had to work Sunday night because I got hit for overtime. So I had like a day to try to adjust, you know, and it was just like, oh. I mean, I'm like, you know, this morning, I worked last night and I did, because it was overtime, they let me go home like an hour early, which is nice, but I didn't feel like I was dying on the way home. So I'm making the adjustment.
That's
like
good.
This won't be like last episode when halfway in I'm doing, you know, I'm getting the nods and stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, so because I'm, you know, I'm wide awake right now.
Well, that's good. We still got a ways to go.
We still got a ways
so.
to go, and I was actually planning on
We'll see.
putting down a couple beer podcasts after this too, because I haven't had a chance to do any of those. So
That'll be even more interesting.
yeah, exactly right. But yeah, so I don't know, man. It's been rough.
Yeah.
You know? Like I said, I mean, but it's gonna help me pay off some debts real quick. That'll be nice.
Yeah, that's generally about the best thing you can look at with overtime is like, well, I can whatever.
Yeah, I don't know how some of those guys do it, man. They're there like every day. It's like,
Do they have families?
I don't know.
I mean, even if they do, maybe they're miserable with their
Yeah,
family.
maybe. Like the only
Like, gotta get out of here.
the only one I
12
get
hours.
is a dude I work with. That's from
Right.
like Ghana, and he sends money home to his family.
Oh,
So
okay.
So he works. He literally works every day, and he just
Wow.
banks and just sends money home.
More power to him.
I don't
Yeah.
like, and that's like something I can be like, I appreciate, like fist bump. I'm like, Felix, fist bump. What's up, man?
Right.
That dude's
Yeah.
a good guy, but I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know how some of these dudes do it.
Yeah. I wouldn't either. I mean, I've done it. I've worked every day for, weeks on end, but it's not the same because it wasn't like, physical in any way, really,
Right.
other than, carrying videos in a loop, basically.
I mean, when I was way younger, when I worked in refineries, I had like a month where I did 30 days,
Yeah.
12-hour shifts. But
Ugh.
I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't terrible because like that job was like once everything's set up, it's like 6 to 8 hours just sitting there watching machines work. So it wasn't
Right.
terrible, but like this job, like, granted, some days we don't do much. We just stand around and bullshit because a lot of it goes to like the stacker, which is just a big robot basically. But other
Yeah.
days, dude, it's just like 12 hours of just slinging glass. So, wow,
Wow.
weird.
So it does not sound like a good
I
time.
did manage to fit a couple things in on my one day off.
All right.
Went and saw Hellboy.
Right.
Pretty good. It felt a little disjointed sometimes. It was
Mhm.
like they tried to put a bunch of shit into it, as
Yeah.
Hollywood
I
tends to do.
read that they tried to shoehorn a lot. Yeah.
But it wasn't terrible. Definitely left it open for a sequel. I like
Right.
what's his name? Stranger Things dude. He's pretty good as Hellboy. I kind of
can't
miss
think-
Ron Perlman though, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a good
He was
Hellboy. I liked him.
But he looks good as Hellboy.
Yeah.
You know? And I mean, it was good. It was fun. It was a good, nice little popcorn movie. Like if
Yeah.
you go in there
The
expecting
reviews
something
have
serious,
not been kind to it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I've read a lot of bad reviews for it, and usually it's more it's centered around the, like you were saying, where they're like they just tried to put way too much stuff in it.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, they probably were doing that in hopes of making a really exciting movie. / they weren't sure if they'll ever get a chance to make a sequel. So,
Yeah, I mean, they did cram a lot of stuff. Like every once in a while, I was just sitting there like, why is this scene here? What are they doing? What? It did feel really disjointed.
yeah,
But I mean, all in all, I didn't think it was a bad movie.
yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough.
I
So
think I do. I think I like the earlier ones better still, though.
yeah,
They just felt more put together, more fun.
yeah, that makes sense. All right, so I got the scale for us for this movie.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it can only really be one thing, and that's on a scale of what do we usually do? 1 to 5, 1 to 10? I don't
Yeah,
even
1 to
remember
5
now.
usually.
So 1 to 5. How many fists of doom do you give it?
Oh, excellent. I like that, Brian.
Yeah.
For
Also, I kind of want to just use fist of dooms for forever.
I agree. For anyone that might be
Just
watching the
sounds
live stream,
ominous.
for some reason,
Yeah.
Brian, your Skype screen just got the smallest I've ever seen it.
It absolutely hates me.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, I blame your weird internet sometimes.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. I don't either.
Bizarre. Anywho, I would give it probably 2.5 fists of doom, right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
That's
there's
fair.
moments you're like, whoa, and then there's other moments you're like, I don't, like me, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can't try to fix this right quick. Oh, there he is. He's so tiny, guys.
Yeah.
There you go. At least you're on there.
It's so weird how it does
Yeah, I
that.
don't get it.
Mhm.
I'm feeling like something's going to happen. Your picture's going to get enormous and take over the whole screen.
That's what I'm hoping.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly right. but here is the thing. Here is the oddball thing I did on. This was on. Must have been Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. So Brian, I bought a Groupon a while ago. Right, 'cause every once in a while, like I like to save a buck.
Sure.
Well,
Who doesn't like to get a deal on sensual massages?
Exactly. So
Right.
I'll peruse the Groupon every so often,
Mm-hmm. I do too.
And I was perusing it,
Dang it, Neil.
and they had a package for 2 people for 1 hour at the gun range for like $30.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to do this. Because when I was a kid, I shot a rifle, but I've never fired a handgun, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've never fired a legit gun. I fired, BB guns,
Yeah.
but not.
And I'm like 30, it was like 32 something or whatever. I was like, what, for an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Or an hour / one box of bullets.
Right.
I'm like, whatever, you know?
Just see how fast you can burn through them. Like, don't even really aim. You're just like, bang, 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 bang.
Wow. They frown on that, by the way.
Yeah, I would think so.
It says right in the
I
wall,
would
no
think-
rapid firing.
Yeah.
But, so, Michelle and I went, and I got to say, man, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, you sign in, they take your thing, you pick out a gun. They're like, oh, it's the Groupon, so you use it. We're giving you 9mm. And I'm like, all right. And the guy's like, so what do you want? And I was like, well, here's the thing. I haven't shot a rifle since I was like 10, or a gun at all. And I've never done a handgun. And I'm like, and she hasn't fired a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was like, huh. Okay, well, your hand sizes. So we show him. He's like, all right, this is probably better for you. This is probably better for you.
He just handed you 2 slingshots.
And he showed us everything, like what to do with the gun and all that, and took us into the range and walked us through everything. They're actually super helpful, which makes sense because they don't want you, probably blast somebody's face off,
or do something to yourself.
exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And man, it's something I'm going to do again. I had a lot of fun, and it's actually pretty affordable to just go like get a lane for an hour and you can rent a gun. It's like $7 or something crazy. Buy a box of ammo. Yeah.
Yeah. I know my one brother I don't know if he goes regularly. He used to go, off and on, but I know he goes and does it, but I don't know if he's doing it for, like I'm going to just go shoot a gun, or if it's a, I don't know, making sure his aim is true. Cause I know he has at least a gun.
Right.
But I don't know if he has any more or anything. So I'm not sure what his intent is with it, but it's...
Well, it's like, they gave us 4 targets, 2 bullseyes, 2 of the people outlines.
Sure. Yeah.
And the box of ammo was 50 rounds. So we just went like, load up 5 rounds in a magazine, your turn. Then, we just rotated 5 rounds apiece. Yeah, but I got to say, like, 9mm, I'm like, this is going to be a pussy ass fucking bullet, whatever. Way more kick than I would have thought. Like, I went first, and it was like, and I was nervous and, a little shaky and all that, because I've never done it before.
Wait. You didn't go sideways?
I mean, if the guy wasn't standing there.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
But
you just got to take your do-rag so you can, bust out Tone Pock and just go sideways with that
Batman
bitch.
do-rag right here.
Right? See?
Yeah.
I don't know if Batman's the right move there, but yeah.
Oh, whatever. No, you're right. If I want to fit in, I got a couple camouflage ones upstairs.
That's better.
That,
yeah.
Gray, black, and white urban camo or whatever.
Yeah.
But
much better.
But yeah, like way more kick than I thought it was gonna have, and I knew it was loud as fuck because we were signing up, and you could, like, I only thought it was one door in between where you sign up in the range. It was a door, a hallway, and then a door, and it was loud, and it was like, I was like, damn.
Right.
Yeah, but
I mean, they give you
you get earmuffs, right? And they give you safety glasses. Like I wore these, and the guy's like, those are fine. I was like, well, okay. So he had to give Michelle glasses, like safety glasses.
Yeah, I'm just glad you didn't shoot your eye out.
That would have been a bummer. I don't think I'd be here.
Maybe. I mean, you'd probably be sitting in a waiting room anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Might as well call in and do the show.
I usually have earbuds on me, so whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and you can like you could feel the concussion in the lane you're in.
Mm-hmm.
It was an interesting experience, but I would for sure go again. It was fun.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's like it'd be a fun night out because it's really not that expensive to do. Like the box of ammo that they give you, it was like $16, $17. But I mean, that's not terrible. It's 50 rounds. Although we used it up in about a half hour. And we were like talking, we're like, this is really fun. And then, I was like, do you want to? She's like, we got to, because we had to do some sort of, what were we doing? Oh, we're going to meet her grandpa and her cousin. That's what it was. Go play some games or something. So it's like, half hour though. I mean, I don't know, man. It was weird.
Mhm.
It was just something different I wanted to try, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, right. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it was something. It was definitely something. Then we're leaving. And the guy's like, man, the guys weren't in there very long. I don't know. There's some weird tattooed up old dude covered in ink.
Not tattoos though, just like
Like his pen exploded.
Yeah,
Comically all over his face.
Man, that's embarrassing while you're at work.
Exactly.
You know,
It's like a bunch of
I had
giant
that
Bic
in
pens
school.
came in and bukkakied him.
Right.
Yeah.
I was chewing on a pen in elementary school one time, and I chewed into the cartridge thing, and it popped. So I had ink all over my face, and I had like those like, I don't know what they're called, those softball shirts, where they have like the 3/4 length sleeve and
Yeah.
white in the middle. I had one of those on, just blue all over the middle.
Oh man.
I was like, well,
This sucks.
yeah. Ooh. Let me tell you, that ink is not tasty.
No? Belle, get out from under the desk. What are you doing? You're not my sexy secretary. Get out of here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I would recommend it to anybody, even if, because I'm not exactly Johnny, Second Amendment. I don't have an armor or anything, but.
Right, wink. No.
But the target shooting was fun. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine so. I mean, you and I used to love like target shooting, like with your bow when we were growing up, or shooting at shit with your
BB gun shit.
BB guns and stuff.
Yeah, same idea, just way louder.
Right. I would imagine so. At least I would hope so. I mean, if that gun's quieter than a compound bow, I mean, whew, boy.
Yeah, right. That would be a problem.
That'd be, pretty scary, honestly.
All right. That'd be something. I would recommend it, though. Yeah.
All right.
For something to
Fair
do.
enough.
But, I mean, besides, God, dying. Yeah, I went to, my mom's for, like, Easter and some birthdays and such on Sunday before I went to work. Other than that, I hadn't done shit.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to, like, really watch anything or play any games or none of that.
Man.
It's been a bummer.
What a waste. What a waste.
I know, right?
No, I'm kidding.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I do have things to talk about.
All right. Well, that's good.
Well, I mean, okay, let me correct myself. I had one more thing happen in my life.
Okay.
I had to go to Walgreens, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember why. I think I just needed like soap and just standard issue stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need to get eye wash because I've had something in my eyeball.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So I finally got some eye wash, like and, flush that mug out.
Right.
But I'm in line. And I don't know what it is. It's middle of the day because, I'm working nights or whatever. I was like, this would be perfect. Place is packed. It's fucking Walgreens,
Really?
bro. It's like Walgreens at 1 o'clock. What are we doing?
All right.
Full of blue hairs.
Well, okay. There's your
That's
answer
my
then.
answer. And these two old ladies, I think basically anything that was clearanced out, they were buying.
Oh, that's very possible.
Like they had stacks of like greeting cards, all kinds of shit. And there's only one person cashing them out. And it's just like, and I'm telling you, like stacks of greeting cards. So it's like, dee, 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 they're up there forever. And then
they got a lot of friends about to die, Tony. They got to be prepared.
That's accurate. But then it's like they're after, and they both, those two ladies, they had separate transactions, of course. And then the one lady's like, I thought I got $5 off because of my Rite Aid card. And the woman's like, no, it's $5 for your next purchase. Like, you got the points now. And it started a whole argument about this whole $5 thing. And she couldn't wrap her head around the fact that's for your next thing.
Yeah.
Now, the woman in front of me, also an old lady, the whole time, you can just read people's body language. She was visibly pissed off. Visibly. Like, she was like her jaw was working, and she kept like, she kept looking around. Like, she's looking for all the Rite Aid people. Like, get the fuck up.
Uh-huh.
And I figured it all out.
Can you open another register?
Yeah, exactly. Do something. There's a bunch of us in line. You got Biddy 1, Biddy 2 arguing about stupid shit. But I figured out why. Because when she was finally her turn to go cash out, what does she drop on the counter? Box of anti-diarrhea medicine.
Oh, no. See, you know
how hard it was to not laugh out loud at that?
Yeah. Oh, no, I do. I totally get it. Remember, like, I have a tweet that says, like, I love seeing the frequency or the, like, basically to see how hurried people are when they're buying toilet paper.
Yes.
Because I was in Kroger one night and some woman just ran in, just grabbed whatever and just ran to the front. And I'm like, oh, boy, somebody's got an emergency.
There's about to
either
be an
that
escape.
or someone needs to bra stuff. Yeah.
Cue up Tin Lizzie's jailbreak.
Right. Yeah.
Tin Lizzie. Thin Lizzie.
I just stood there laughing, and there was a woman in the aisle too, and we just looked at each other, and we both just started laughing because it was,
so ridiculous.
So ridiculous. Get out of the way, basically.
Yeah, move, bitch. Get out the way.
Oh man. So I get it. Yeah. Also, a lot of us have probably been in that scenario, whether it's buying medicine or you're on your way home from something or whatever, and you're just like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
Geez.
When your ass is like,
surprise, motherfucker.
Like, oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like my brother and I used to call it the old Mexican rule.
Exactly.
You eat Mexican food, and then, you're like, all right, I'm going to let a little steam off, and you're like, that ain't steam.
That was a terrible idea. Oh boy.
Oh man, that poor woman. Well, I hope she got everything squared away.
I mean, yeah, she probably had a diaper on anyway, I mean, whatever. It just made me laugh when I saw her slap that box down. It's just like,
Man. See, and that's exactly why I hate, like, when you're in stores and like they'll have like one lane open or two, and you have those kind of situations, and you're like, come on, what if, what if somebody is in a hurry, emergency, whatever it is? It's like, give them, like, that's why I like the places they have like the U scans, because, in that kind of scenario, you just be like, screw this and just go over to the others. My brother and I were in Target the other night. They had one lane open, and as we walk up, this woman basically runs to get in front of us, and she's got a cart with like $1 million worth of Easter candy in it. Oh my
God. It's all for her, probably.
Yeah, meanwhile, I have like one thing I'm buying, and my brother had one thing, and it's like, really? You had to, like we'd be out of here in like 2 minutes. You're still going to be standing here. Either way. So I was like, well, nuts to this, and I just walked over to the U-Scans. And
I'm pretty much like this shirt I'm wearing, my Graphic Novice shirt, instead of I Heart Graphic Novice, since they're RIP, should be RIP Graphic Novice. But
yeah, you know what we need to do? We need to start a shirt and put like all our friends' podcasts on there, and then we can just cross them out if they.
I like it.
No, I'm kidding.
We need to do a music video like Boys and Men style, billowing white shirts.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but my shirt should say I Heart U-Scan, because I'm ride or die for U-Scan for sure.
I am too, even though fundamentally I hate them.
Same here, because it's basically like, oh, this is somebody's job. Right,
because now one person can watch, 6 or 8 registers instead of one person per.
But I'm never the guy that, like, if I've got a cart full of shit, which I never do, I'll go into the actual lane.
Yeah,
but, I do that. I'm the come in, I grab the tiny cart, because I'm a dainty lad. Or I grab the basket, like I'm Little Red Riding Hood, about to go see.
Yeah, that's my move. Yeah,
I mean,
that's the move I like to do. I even put it over my arm. Now I don't carry it with my hand. I like tuck it up over my forearm. Yeah, and skip around. Yeah.
I mean, so that's why I'm always like, U-Scan, because I've got 5 things.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's my thing too. Is like, I'm the same way. Like, if I only have 1 or 2 things, nothing irritates me more than that there's no lanes open that's like an express lane, or if you walk over to the U-Scans, there's just people with carts full of stuff, and you're like, really? Like, there should be some sort of a like, hey, this is reserved for people who are not trying to be here for an hour.
This is for not morons.
Yeah.
I honestly, I've never been able to understand the people that grocery shop like once a month.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
we go 2 or 3 times.
I go maybe like once a week. I get a couple odds and ends, and then I'm good.
Yeah.
But, you know, you see, and I know a lot of it might have to do with like government assistance. You know, like, oh, I got my food money. Maybe that's something to do with it.
Yeah.
But when you see those people and they've got one, sometimes 2 carts, and they're loaded, like they're about ready to go on the Oregon Trail, it's crazy to me. Because I don't like unloading all my groceries up. I mean, I do it all at once anyway. But when I have like 6 bags, I'm like, this sucks. How much shit are you unloading into your house?
Here's the thing. Like, the move now is like, when I see somebody with like the 2 cart thing now, I'm like, how did you not call this in?
Yeah, really.
Let someone else handle all that for you. At least then all you have to do is bring it in.
Right.
You know? But yeah, I'm with you. It's like, man, I don't even like one grocery trip having to bring stuff in. Like, you know, we get cases of bottled water, you know, and you know, carrying. I mean, I know you can sympathize getting the big old jugs of water.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, those are fun to carry in. So at least yours have handles on them.
Yeah, they
now,
used to not have handles. Now they do, and it's amazing.
Oh yeah, the handles make a big difference. That's the part that sucks about the bottled water is, you know, you're holding that plastic or you're holding underneath it, or I just throw it up on my shoulder now and carry it.
Box.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Boombox
but
for
anyway,
younger listeners was a radio you'd put on your shoulder when you want to play jams in the streets.
Jams. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
not
right.
Wrong.
Oh, you know what else I realized too? And I didn't realize it until it was the next fucking day, bro. When I was out, you know, playing or watching Hellboy and playing Bang Bang Shoot Shoot, I missed Record Store Day. Your shirt just made me think of that.
Oh, wow. I actually almost texted you to remind you because I didn't know if you'd remember it or not.
I need to put it in my calendar so it's just always there. Yeah, totally forgot about it. I really wanted to go because there's always something cool going on. What a bummer, man.
Yeah,
free
you
comic
suck. What are you gonna do?
Wait,
that is true.
Yeah, I was like, I was ahead in March. No, it's in May.
No, it's in May.
19th ish.
Well, at least usually somewhere around there. Yeah, I was gonna say unless they moved it, which is always possible, but they tend to coincide it with a movie, so it'll be somewhere near Endgame.
That would make sense.
Yeah, because you know, which makes a lot of sense because it's, you know, I think going to be the movie of the summer.
Doesn't Endgame come out real soon?
Yeah, very soon. Like 8 days.
No shit.
No shit. At least I think that's what I read earlier today.
I might go see that. I'm off all that whole weekend.
Well, how convenient.
Imagine that.
Good luck seeing you. You might want to get your tickets ahead of time.
Maybe. If I can't get tickets now, then I'm not. You know how I feel about opening weekends. Pretty much under right out, as Monty Python would say.
Yeah. Amen to that. Yep. Screw that noise.
That noise.
Yep. So yeah, that's pretty soon anyway.
Crazy.
So, well, I guess real quick, let me do my week, and then
mate.
I was just something else here, but we'll get to that. Yeah, I didn't do a whole lot. The last few days, I've spent a decent amount of time. Well, I mean, I've had, for the better part of 5 days, I've had a migraine. That's pretty fun,
that is
right?
exciting.
Good times. It's the weather, you know, we're this time of year, you know, that switch, the pressure change and all that stuff usually messes with me pretty good. So hopefully the weather will start kind of leveling out here at some point, and then I'll be all right. Probably not, though. So I forgot what I was gonna say, man. Yeah, man. Oh shit! Wow, I totally just blanked. Oh, I've been just being blown away with just how much the dumbest, like some of the really like dumbest magic cards are worth now that you and I literally could have bought for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, you were texting me about that a little bit. earlier in the week. Can't even talk.
Yeah. And I've sold my Magic cards off, and this is probably the 4th wave of selling that I've done. And each time the cards seem to get more and more ridiculous. Unfortunately, I'm running lower and lower on good product, So, because it's starting to get I'm getting down to where I don't have a lot of the older stuff, which is the more valuable stuff.
Yeah, the stupidly priced stuff.
Oh, yeah. So ridiculous. So, yeah, it's I've been doing that, and it's like, well, guess I got to dig through the binders and stuff again to make sure I don't have, anything that's crazy valuable. Because I've seen stuff that I'm like, man, I had those. And like, I had them like 2 years ago, had them. And, there's a card called Gaia's Cradle. I don't know if you remember that or not.
What was it? A land, I think?
It's from Saga. You tap it, it gives you a green for every creature you control, I believe. Or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. It's close enough to that. Anyway, they were hot back then, but they were like a $10, $15 card. I bought them somewhere near that price. I sold them at $75 a piece. Now they're booking it like $250.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not kidding. Well, it's been like 5 years since I sold them. I'm sorry. But still, yeah, that is quite a jump.
Yeah, that's lunacy.
Uh-huh. And on one hand, I'm like, wow. And on the other hand, I'm like, man, because you just, like, the stuff you had, like, the only reason I sold it was I needed money then. And don't get me wrong, I've made a killing at every step, because I never overpaid for stuff unless it was, like, for a tournament right now kind of a thing.
Right.
It's like something I have to have for tonight or something. But otherwise, I always traded or, looked for a good price on stuff. But, man.
Crazy.
Just crazy, yeah. So, so that's probably going to take a good chunk of my time going forward.
Just sifting through old cards, trying to figure out what you got, maybe.
Dude, Magic has gotten to the point, value-wise now, right? Mm-hmm. 2 of the price sites that I've looked at recently both have a trends thing telling you what is trending up and what's trending down.
Okay.
So that you can basically speculate.
Right.
I also found a website that the whole point of the website is to try to, they want you to buy their premium service. And their premium service allegedly helps you figure out what cards are going to be going up so that you can go buy them before they're valuable.
Interesting. So what do you do, look at deck trends and stuff like that or something?
I don't know exactly because I don't have access to the premium stuff, but that's what I'm figuring it is. Like a good example, my nephew told me this too, was he asked me if there was a card, I don't think you'll remember it, Serum Powder. Okay. Anyways, it's a card that if you have it in your opening hand, I forgot what it does now. I think you can play it for free or something like that, but then you have to, I don't know, forget it. I'm not even going to try it. I know I'm kidding. Right. Anyway, the key to it is that it affects the mulligan rule. And they're changing the mulligan rule now, again, for some reason, to where it looks like you, instead of like just shuffling your deck back up and then drawing one less card or whatever it is, now it looks like you put them on the bottom of your deck in any order and then just draw fresh cards.
Really?
So, of course, anything that can exploit this is going to go up right now. So that card is gone from being like $1 card to a $10-ish card in about a week. So
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were out in front of that. And like I said, my nephew texted me before the announcement was made because it had been kind of making its rounds, the rumors and stuff on different sites or whatever. And, he was like, hey, do you have any of these? I'm like, I might have one. And I do. I have one.
Right.
So it's like, well, that's something I can move for sure. And, but that's one of those cards I don't want to wait on, like that's one of those that feels like it's like you got to move it because if it becomes too exploitive or too exploited,
it's just going to get banned or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's worthless, so.
Strike while the iron's hot. I just made that up.
Wow, really?
Deep,
That's
right?
oh wow. That's very deep.
Like
Both your explanation and the saying. So anyway,
Damn it.
enough of me.
Just to the listening audience out there, my dumb dog brought a bone in here. So expect some weird-ass noises in the background.
And some from Tony's dog.
Yeah, exactly. I'm over here like... well, verklempt.
Right. Actually, it's funny because the sounds you're making remind me of when I worked at Hollywood Video. There was an older guy that used to come in on Sunday mornings, and he'd just walk around the store, and he'd be there for an hour and a half.
Jesus.
And he'd usually 2 movies, and he would just walk around. Basically, I don't know how he was making his mind up, or if he was trying to remember what he had seen. And and I'm not making an old joke there. It's just, if after you've seen a ton of movies, it's like, geez, have I seen this? And especially if it's kind of a generic movie, not something really leaps at you. So yeah, but as he walked around, it was, and I don't know if he was harumping or if it was just constantly phlegmy.
Well, it's people and noises. Like I was on the phone with my bank earlier this week, and I thought once again TB. This guy I was talking to was just yeah. He's asking questions. I'm like, yep. This is like, good Lord.
Well, out of curiosity, was it a local branch you were talking to, or the local call
branch.
center? Okay, because if it was a call center, I'd be like, well, they're probably wearing a headset. Is probably what it is, and it's right up on their mouth.
Well, I mean, I don't know. The dude was
yeah.
I was just like, oh, jeez, man. I was like, am I supposed to be getting aroused right now?
Duh. Whoa, there we go again.
Roundhouse.
Oh man. So yeah, that's basically been my week. I really haven't done a whole lot of anything this week. It's pretty exciting. I still haven't started on my t-shirts yet either. So
That's right. You're gonna dig through your bins of shirts.
My mountains of t-shirts.
I still kind of remember stuff we talked about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That you basically weren't here for most of it or half of it.
Hey, what's funny is is our thumbnail for the live stream from last week. It's just me like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I guess when it happens 83 times during the show, the odds are pretty good.
Right. Yeah, if anyone's going to watch that, do us a favor, keep track of Tony's nodding off. I'm curious what the number really is. It's probably
Make
close
it a drinking game. No, don't. You'll die.
Yeah. Oh, you'll die. Yeah. At least you'll get to hear most of the podcast. You didn't really start nodding out until like the last third of it.
Yeah, that was rough, dude.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. It's over now.
Yeah. All right. Well, real quick, I got a follow up to last week a little bit when we talked about Cheeto Bandito's gaming room, and you were like, does it channel 3 and all that, and I RF switches. He responded with, as far as being on channel 3 depends on the system. Some have AV cables and the others have RF switches. But I have most hooked up to a hub, so you just have to turn the system on and you're ready to game, which is the right move.
That's the correct move in everything. That's
the move I got in my room, too. That way I can fight, DVD player, my Apple TV, my Xbox One, or my PS4. It's just whatever I turn on, just boom, and it's on. I don't have to actually switch it.
It's quite nice.
But I remember... You remember having like those RF switches though, where you put like 4 things into them, and you had to literally turn it to
like
whatever.
A savage stand up. It was like click, click,
like
click.
Yeah, not even a remote for it. Ugh.
Yeah.
On the upside, where I had it was in my bedroom, and my TV was at the foot of my bed, so it really wasn't a big deal.
I mean, like we're old enough, Brian, that our RF switches came with the coaxial screw on, and sometimes remember the 2 prongs. They had the 2 screws in the back of the TV. You just had to unscrew them a little bit and put the prongs in and screw them back in.
Yeah.
And then had a switch on it, so you'd be like, okay, I'm using this now.
Yeah.
Old as fuck. It's funny because I was talking to, I work with younger dudes. And one of the guys I was talking to the other day is like, he's like, man, the first game I really remember playing on the internet was Escape the Yeti. Do you remember that Flash game? It was just you skiing down the hill and there's a Yeti coming at you and there's snowballs and shit.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
And I was
Yes.
like,
Okay.
wow, you
Now
just
I know
made me
what you're
feel
talking
old as fuck if that's your first game you played.
That's yeah. I always love that when people pull that move. When they're like, "Oh yeah, this it's a really old game," and you're like, "Dude, I was like 20 when that came out. Like, come on."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I know it was 20 years ago, but let me have this.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Like, I'm gonna cry.
Crazy. Stupid young people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I think I mentioned on here before where something I was watching or a podcast I was listening to or something, they were talking about classic video games and someone mentioned one from like the 90s and somebody was like, that's not classic. And it's like, yo, that was like 25 years
exactly.
ago. Like, if it was a car,
That's historical. It'd be on classic rock radio.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, because a lot of the shit from our Ute is inching its way in there.
It's been there, man. I know, right? Spooky.
Yeah. It is weird when you hear some of the stuff. I mean, a lot of our like high school stuff is not on, maybe classic rock radio. I forgot. There's an oldies station that doesn't call itself an oldies station in Toledo anymore. And oddly enough, it was like the IT station for a while when we were Utes. Talking about 93.5. And then they were an oldies station for a long time. And now they're still an oldie station, but they don't call themselves that, and they play stuff kind of all over the place. I think what they realize is instead of just playing stuff for like this small demographic, they can just play it from like, our parents through us kind of a thing, and that opens it way up. Just smart
because I don't mind my parents' rock music because I grew up listening to it too.
Yeah, I don't mind most of it. Yeah,
it makes me feel like I'm hanging out in the garage with my stepdad.
Having some pops. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I like
good,
it.
Actually.
Yeah. So, speaking of games, I have a couple things about games here. The first thing is I was talking with the guy who works over at Target over here in the electronics department. And he was telling me about this game that he recently got he got it for the Switch, but it's available for pretty much everything. Like phones, consoles, computers, it's pretty much available on all formats digitally. They only made a small run of actual physical copies, and I guess physical copies are worth a few bucks, so whatever. It's called Retro City Rampage.
All right,
you need to look this game up because for the way he hooks me on this is he goes, he's like, how do I describe it? He's like, well, it reminds me a lot of the first Grand Theft Auto. And I'm like, I'm listening, because the game was a lot of fun. And this game is kind of like that. It's like a top-down game. You have missions. You can go around like shooting people, beating them up, essentially like Grand Theft Auto. There's different vehicles you can drive, and like there's one of the videos I saw, it's just a guy in like I think it's like a bus or something like that, and he's just trucking down the sidewalk.
Well, I'm pulling up images
people.
for our was watching the live stream, and yeah, I see what you mean. It looks like old school Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, and it's like $10. So I grabbed it a couple nights ago. It finally got done downloading, so I haven't played it yet, but it looks like all sorts of fun.
It's on what? Is on PS4 too?
It's on it.
Oh yeah, here's a PS4 button right here.
And I guess he's working on the sequel right now. And so I signed up for his newsletter so that, I could, when it goes for pre-order, depending on what it costs, I might grab it if I like this one, that is. But I dug the name too. But if you look at some of the stuff, there's like old game inside jokes. Like there's a store called Skater Buy.
Actually, I see it right here in one of these images.
Right? That's awesome. For anyone who doesn't know, there was a game on the original Nintendo called Skate or Die, which was the second Nintendo game I ever bought.
I used to play the shit out of that.
Oh, man. That game was terrible compared to Tony Hawk.
But it was terrible in all the right ways. You remember when you were in the pool
but in its
with like the Q-tips? You're like dueling.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I said, but for in the day, it was the hotness.
I mean, I love old school games like this.
That's why I wanted to mention it to you, because I figured
that looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll let you know. I'll give it a go here soon and let you know. But I don't know if there's any sort of co-op or anything. I don't think so. I think it's just a one-player game. But I guess it's just like one dude doing most of the stuff. So, yeah, pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then Tony died.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm actually worried about? I'm sitting there thinking about it.
What's that?
Was it late last week? Leah came down with strep throat. And, we took her to the doctor and she got antibiotics. She's fine now. Today, Logan was homesick, sore throat. And I'm like, dude, am I getting something again?
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's no good.
God damn it.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize this game released in 2012.
Holy shit.
I did not realize that. Yeah. We'll have a link for it in the show notes, or you can go to retrocityrampage.com. Yeah, on Steam, it's got a 9 out of 10 rating, and on Metacritic, it's a 91%. I mean, it's, and, shoot, I thought I saw another review thing in it. Anyway, but yeah.
It looks like good fun. I mean, yeah, I might, God damn it. I might have to check this out.
Right? Yeah, that's why I said, and it's it's on the cheap. The cool part was I had like I don't know $3 or $4 in my PlayStation wallet or whatever the hell it's called, so it only cost me like $6. Well, it cost me the same, but you know what I'm saying. It was additional. Yeah, yeah. It says reimagines the open world crime genre in the '80s. Rampage the city, steal cars, and play over 60 story mode missions.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, and there's like crossover stuff in it too. I think it says, where is it? Official Minecraft, Super Meat Boy, Trip, and Epic Mealtime crossovers.
Epic Mealtime. Is that still a thing?
Yeah. I have no idea. I don't think so. I think they moved on to something else. But yeah, looks like a good time.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the other game thing that I have is, did you see Sony officially announced PS5 is
I
coming?
saw it. I didn't actually dive in and read the news articles and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, they confirmed it will not launch in 2019. Right. So apparently the rumor is that everyone seems to think is 2020, because that will make the current cycle 7 years, which is the length that PS3 and Xbox 360 had.
Yeah, fair enough.
Though, I'm thinking they're still pushing the PS4, just like with the PS3. It's like, I feel like there's a lot they could still probably do with that system.
Yeah, especially because I just bought my PS4, the bastards.
Market's gonna earn the market. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. This is one of the things I really dig about the concept with Google, with their all streaming system thing. Is that would be one massive thing to it, is you wouldn't necessarily have to keep upgrading your system. You could just, I mean, they may have different levels of, memberships or something, but you wouldn't have to worry about, oh crap, you just said, it's like, oh, I just got this. Now
exactly.
I gotta buy
come on, bro. Really? I finally got out of the Stone Age. It's like when you're playing, oh god, I can't remember that game, that top-down real-time strategy game, Age of Mythology, maybe. I don't know. But you're playing it, and you got spearmen or stabbing deer, and you're trying to get meat, and then here comes a squad of here comes SEAL Team 6, and they raise your town.
Yeah.
I was still those guys with the spears. Everyone else around me was building magnificent cities. I'm scraping rocks together.
It's true. Yeah, I built it. Still hadn't figured out that rocks were not a good thing to wipe your ass with. Yeah.
It's a weird
one of these days you'll get it.
No, shitting on rocks mod.
Yeah, but that would be a very weird mod. So there's no actual footage of the system / controllers, even though in the articles a lot of them have something, but I think that's just them making something they think's looking cool. The one developer said, this is so weirdly worded. This has to do with the price point. Says he believes we will be able to release the system at an SRP that will be appealing to gamers in light of its advanced feature set.
Sounds like it's going to be expensive.
Yeah. What's funny, see, that's exactly what I thought too. And I've seen a lot of people that were like, oh, well, that probably means it's going to be cheap. And I'm like, okay, but the second part of that, in light of its advanced feature set, that generally means, hey, we're going to price it accordingly based on its premiums.
Yeah.
You know, that generally is what they use to raise prices. But man, I don't know how much higher they can go that people are still going to pay it, you know? Like, remember when they first launched them, the PS4 and the Xbox One, and they were like $400 or $500,
yeah,
and people were like, "Nope." Basically, I think they're pretty much at the ceiling, you know. Unless I don't know. They've already integrated them into being entertainment systems overall, so you can't even really do much there. You know, it'll be interesting to see where they
I'm sure
price
it's going
this
to
thing
be
though.
staggering. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I just expect it to be, honestly, it wouldn't shock me if it's just a little bit more, you know, if it's like $400 instead of $300 or $350 or something like that.
News article from GamesRadar I pulled up says 2020 kickoff $399, but I mean, what do they know? I imagine it's all speculation, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say everything I've seen from like IGN and different sites have all been like, we're not sure.
Right.
I thought, who knows though? Oh, maybe they're right. I don't know. The specs on this are ridiculous. Yeah, like they're building like a whole new engine for the thing. It's going to be backwards compatible, both physically, you know, and if you buy retro games, basically, of course. So it's not like the Xbox 3 or Xbox One where you have to download the newer version of or download something to make the game thing work. It's going to be similar. I would assume it'll be similar to like how the PS3 was when it first launched, where it could play anything from PS2, PS1, whatever. If they do that, that's a huge selling point.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, at this point, Microsoft could also do the same thing with their next one, and that there'd still be a ton of games, all the Halos and all that kind of stuff that you could, you know, jump back and play. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of like, you know, fancy shit that it's going to do. Apparently, it's supposed to be able to handle up to 8K, which doesn't even exist in any TV on the market. Like 4K isn't even the norm yet. So, which I like though, but the thing is, if you're going to push and push and push the technology, which is how it works, you know, every time they come out with something new, it generally widens the gap from the amount they leaped the first time, you know, the exponential growth of technology. You know, it's like, okay, but, you know, the cool part is that it could be that powerful or handle that kind of fancy looking shit. But on the other hand, you know, it's like, well, are you just going to keep it around for 5 or 6 years? Or like, I kind of feel like that's the other thing, is I feel like it's so weird though, because you think in most fields of technology, if you wait 10 years before you introduce the next thing, that's like, you know, that feels like 100 years in technology.
It advances so quick. God damn.
It's like, can you imagine if they did advanced TVs? That'd be crazy. You know, like they just wait like 10, 20 years before they're like, okay, here's the next type of TV. It's like, man, they put out like a new type of TV every year, it seems.
They're always getting bigger and thinner.
Yeah. We'll probably have 8K by next week, but, you know, 5G on the phones and 8K on the TVs, and then we'll be all set.
I like it. You got to do what you got to do.
So,
yeah, right.
I'm all for it, but... Well, I don't know about the 8K. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to 4K TVs because I can't afford one. So,
I mean, looking at them in a store, it almost looks.
Yeah.
It's so crisp in the store, it almost feels weird to look at.
I've seen a few shows where I've watched when I was in like Best Buy or something, and I'd be like, "This looks almost fake. Like it's so weird." Yeah. I'm curious if we hit that threshold, or if like we hit that point where it's like, look, the only way we can really go from here is to make virtual reality even better. To really push the boundaries on that more and more, so that we can have what do you call it, immersible experiences instead of just using it a little bit like it is now. But
Cool.
yeah,
I actually have some technology related as well. Oh, geez.
Oh, do you now?
I certainly do. The old Samsung Fold? Have you heard about what's going on here?
Yes. All I saw was some headline that said that they were having some issues.
One, it's a $2,000 phone.
Okay, no problem. I got 6 or 7
there.
ordered. Yeah.
Apparently, it comes with, if you don't know, if you're watching a live stream, you can see it. But if you don't, which is SaltyLanguagePod on YouTube, for sure, come check it out.
The replay
the phone
will be up.
folds. It opens like a book. In the middle's a screen, so it's like the first folding screen commercially available, basically. It seems that there's a layer on it that looks like it should peel off. You know how, for some reason, there's videos on YouTube of people just peeling that plastic off electronics, and they're like, oh, it's like orgasmic for them. I don't get the shit.
Yeah, and I've never understood that.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
But I guess the screen has a layer like that, and people are peeling it off. And that somehow preserves the screen when you're folding it, and screens are basically breaking left and right.
Well, I mean, in fairness, that'll teach those idiots to that's like picking at scabs and then being mad when you're bleeding like crazy. Because I would think there's probably something in the literature that says, not that anyone reads that shit, but there's probably something in there I would think that do not peel this off. Yeah. What's funny about that is, like, technology stuff, just the way we are as humans and stuff, it's funny sometimes. Like this, okay? These smartphones came out. Nobody used a case at first. Nobody had a screen protector. Then the phones got, stupid expensive to where now it's rare to see a phone not in a protector. Yeah. Right? So, and the screen protectors are, generally little thin sheets of whatever it is, glass, plastic. I don't know what the hell it is.
Piece of glass.
Some shit.
Yeah, like tempered glass.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. And it's like, so now we're at that point that, like I said, almost every phone has one of those on it because people are like, I don't want to, listen, I've dropped my phone a couple times, had one of those on there, and that shattered, but not my screen. So,
there's probably no way you can see it. Well, with this white screen, it's too bright. But,
yeah, mate.
Yeah, I've got cracks all over my screen protector from it dropping, falling flat,
Yep. I actually, a few months ago, just put a new one on mine because the one I had before, I dropped it one time and it cracked and it was right in the center. And I'm like, oh, man. And then I started peeling it and I was like, oh, thank goodness. But I immediately ordered another one, So it's funny to me that with all of that people see this thin piece of plastic on something and they're like, I know, let's peel this off.
It says, this YouTuber, Marquise Brownlee, he peeled the thin layer that appears to be a screen protector, he put in a tweet, and then quickly realized the layer was in fact a crucial component for display. The screen broke immediately. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I wonder what it costs to get one of those replaced. Like,
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't think I don't think the phones that are out, like, I don't think you can go buy one right now. I could be wrong. I think these are just all the testers they sent to people.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Which is not a good way to start.
Right. Well, I guess on one hand it might be because maybe they can look at it again and go, is there something maybe a little more permanent we can put on there so people can't peel it off? Or if our literature didn't say don't peel this off, we're going to make sure it says, like, but you put a little sticker on it that says do not peel this off.
Maybe we're just not ready for foldable phones yet.
I think you're right.
Foldable phones, because I know we had foldable phones. But I'm talking about foldable phones where you open it, it's just a giant fucking screen. Maybe we're just not ready for that.
Which is weird.
The technology might not quite be there.
I really don't think we need that. And here's why. Like, I get it. Like, you can't fold an iPad up and tuck it in your... Well, most people can't fold an iPad up and tuck it in their pocket. Yeah, maybe. I'm sure they could. That aluminum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he could. Mark Henry, world's strongest man. You used to just roll up frying pans. So, anyway, it's like nobody really walks around with, like, even the phablets and stuff kind of didn't stick around. Like, we have good sized phones, but those ones that were extra big didn't really land. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, I get it though, because like, especially for women where their pockets in their clothes are tiny, I've seen so many women with like this massive iPhone just hanging out of their ass pocket of their pants because, that's the biggest pocket in their jeans or whatever. And it's like, geez, like any pair of pants I have, I could put that same phone right in the pocket and still have plenty of room. It's pretty stupid.
I mean, I know why they're doing this. Because the amount that you look around, you see people watching anything on their phone, anything and everything. They're just watching on their phones now.
Yeah. I will give you that. For that reason,
cool.
I definitely
nice to have
get
a bigger screen, I guess. But I mean, at the same time, if you're peeling off a thin layer and things are immediately breaking and shattering or whatever, peeling off is what it looks like here.
I feel like
I mean, maybe it's just like I said, maybe it's just not there yet. We're close. It's almost there.
Right. I feel like you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like, all right, let's maybe rein this in a little bit here for the moment. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
but I get it. Yeah. But also at the same time, it's like I've seen and heard stories about people like where they'll go to watch something on their laptop when they're on a plane, and then they get not mad, but irritated because the person sitting directly next to them is kind of like, putting their head on your shoulder so they can watch too.
Next to them also enjoys double penetration porn. I'm just saying.
Well, who doesn't? But so that's kind of the thing. It's like, how big of a whatever do you want to carry it with you, like on a subway or whatever, to, so other people can also watch
At what
porn
point
with
does
you.
It get silly?
It's kind of weird. I think we're getting near that. That's kind of what I was getting at. I really feel like we're getting near that point.
I don't even know. Oh my God, my dog just unleashed evil into the room. Yeah, I've got a iPhone Plus 8. I don't even know what generation it is. I can't remember. And I think that's about the perfect size for watching stuff. It's a good size screen.
I agree.
It's not too big. It's not too small. Throw that bitch sideways, so you got like a widescreen format going on. What is this, letterbox? This is great.
Yeah. I've got an iPad mini that I've watched plenty of stuff on, and it's like, if I were like, once you're somewhere, like if you're in a hotel room or whatever, it's awesome. Like it's a good size for, it's not too big, but it's big enough that you're not like squinting the whole time. But like while I'm traveling, I would not want to pull that thing out. Or if, like if you were sitting in a, like at the mechanics or something like that while you're waiting for them to bend you over, like you're watching something to get you a little more in the mood or whatever, like, I wouldn't want something that size there. And I don't know. Maybe it's just because we're old. Maybe we're hitting our threshold with technology, Tony.
There's a guy at my work. He's definitely older than I am. He watches shit on his phone on break, and it annoys the shit out of me because he watches it loud as fuck, no earbuds. And it's just like, and it's all like, I don't want to get into what it is, but it's all stuff you're like, really?
Yeah. Oh, I think you've told me about this before a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know.
Pardon me, wonders if the reason he watches it with no earbuds and stuff is so people will hear it and then ask him about it.
Yeah.
It feels like a Cliff Clavin kind of thing to do, doesn't it?
Get it.
Yeah. It's kind of like walking in the room, go, bull. Let's see if someone
and expensive.
Yeah, right.
It's like, what?
What does that have to do with anything? I don't get it.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So, well, that's a good time.
Yeah. Indeed.
So, this past week, the Notre Dame church in France
I was going to talk about that. Funny.
got all burnt up.
All right. I'm going to stop you real quick. Just because I want to put it out there in the world, I want to know if you're going to talk about exactly what I was going to talk about.
Probably.
Carry on.
Okay.
I should write it down.
So there's there's ups and downs to this whole thing. I'm not going to get into the political stuffs on it, but I will. Aside from saying one thing on that, which is, please don't give money to that. There's way other better things to give money to, and the Catholic Church has like $30 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
They're good. They'll be okay.
Well,
go give it to churches. If you're going to give it to a church, give it to a church that has like a small, poor congregation that can't afford to get a new roof on the building.
Has it been like 2 years and Puerto Rico still like has no power?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
Rolling power. I actually, one of the Twitter rooms I'm in, there was a guy in there from Puerto Rico, and it was like 4 months ago, I think, the last time he was in there, but they just got their power back.
That is madness, by the way.
We can't even fathom, like, when we don't have power/internet for like an hour, we start twitching.
Yeah, I start losing my shit.
Let alone a couple years with no power. That is freaking ridiculous. So anyway, enough of the political stuff. You can make your own mind up, but yeah.
Oh.
Anyway.
That wasn't what I thought.
Oh, no. I'm getting to that.
Okay, all right. Back to what I have it wrote down.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm hoping that we're on the same page here.
The other side of it, which I thought this is actually really cool, which is that in order to rebuild the church, Ubisoft is going to be able to potentially help them rebuild it, because they have like scans of the inside and outside of the church for Assassin's Creed.
I didn't see that story. That's amazing.
Yeah, and so because they like being historically accurate with these kind of landmarks in their games, there's going to be potential for them to actually have specifications so that they can rebuild accordingly, which is kind of cool,
also
whether you agree with
over
the church
$500,000.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know a group of rich assholes decided that they were going to donate a bunch of money. It's like, was it up to like $600 million or something now? It's pretty awesome. That, again, Puerto Rico.
No power.
Anyway, but this with Ubisoft is kind of cool because like IBM's been running a commercial I don't know, a year or two now, where they're talking about drone technology and how they were showing some architecture, and they were showing the drone scanning all of it. And that basically for like movies and stuff, when they're going to use a landmark but not actually use the landmark, when they want to CG it, this allows them to just boom and have it, because instead of having to have a person or people take all these pictures, they can just use the drone and scan it in big chunks and be done in really fast time. So this kind of thing might happen more and more in the future.
That's pretty cool,
though. That technology, I thought part of it was pretty cool. So
is that what you're going to talk about?
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
that was not what I was hoping.
I mean, unless you want me to make a crusade for
No. I'm dying.
Other than TB.
Yeah, stupid TB. No, what I was annoyed by, if I'm being honest, with the whole, like, obviously it's a historical landmark. It sucks, fire bad. Okay,
it is. Yeah,
all that. What I was annoyed by was, because I like Instagram, so I was like, let me pull up my Instagram and see what, and it's everyone like, oh my god, I was there 2 years ago. Oh my god, it's like I don't get. And I wrote down my trip to Paris on here, because I was hoping that's what you're talking, because I know you're on the social medias too. And man, was I annoyed by looking at everyone's Paris photos outside of Notre Dame. Sorry.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
I was like, why? Do you really need it? Do you really need this kind of excuse to brag about you going to Paris, man? You know, that's how I felt about it.
It's really funny because I saw that and I had thought about talking about that, and then I didn't end up doing that. So that's
The more I saw it, the more I was
glad
like,
you brought
God
it up.
damn it.
Yep. Nothing like taking a giant event
exactly
and making it about you.
Exactly. Which, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
If I had pictures of me outside of it, I would been like, I was there. Yeah.
Totally.
I was there 2 years ago and I thought it smelled like smoke. I tried to warn someone.
Yeah. Well, they had a thing on like the CBS Evening News that the last time they did like a major renovation on the church was like 150 years ago or something. It's like, what did you expect to happen? Like,
yeah, exactly, right?
Old buildings hard to catch on fire. Like, you gotta bring that shit up to
for
code.
sure.
I
mean,
yikes.
yeah,
Maybe don't leave.
Already hoping Jesus was gonna put it out. Actually, yeah, no,
That would have been great. Like, that's when Jesus finally like shows himself, is that he's back. Church is on fire. He walks up in like a fire hat, like a fireman's helmet, and he's like, "I got this, guys." Just pours a bunch of wine over
exactly.
it.
He just points the hose, starts shooting
Snaps his
purple.
fingers. Yes. Yeah. Snaps his fingers and it turns the water and the fire's out. No, yeah. When I first heard about it, I was like, wow, because it is, what is it, like a 900-year-old church or something like that. That's a good run, like
for sure. For sure a good run.
But also, yeah, right. Like for me, the first thing I was really, the first thing I looked for was, did anyone get hurt? And then the next thing I was kind of thinking about was like, man, I know they have various art in that church. It's like,
right.
That sucks because, whether you're religious or not.
But did you hear the bonus of all this was
no,
because of the renovations and all that they were doing, like they moved a bunch of the artwork and relics out. So yeah,
right.
So a lot of that stuff
that's
is still
right.
safe. Yeah, which is good.
Yeah. Because, it's just like in my head, I was just thinking about the whole, like, I remember the first time that I heard about like the Crusades, and when you hear about how basically if artwork didn't fit the Christians' rules or likes, they would destroy it. Didn't matter what it, the stuff, even stuff like with Jesus in it, if it didn't line up with their beliefs, they would destroy it, and tons of amazing artworks, got destroyed over the years. So it's like anytime there's a great destruction of art, I'm disappointed. Like the building, I always figured there's like, well, they could probably rebuild the building. You can't just go, ta-da,
Exactly.
Here's those artworks.
Well, it's like, listen to good old Dan Carlin, Hardcore History, a while back. The old Wrath of the Khans. We talk about how Genghis Khan would like rolled up and just burnt the Library of Alexandria and had all this ancient.
Yeah.
It's like, think what was in there that we have no clue.
Yeah, See, that's the kind of stuff. Whenever somebody does those like what if scenarios, that's the kind of stuff that you're like, it'd be kind of cool to go read some of the stuff that never made it anywhere near our generation. To be able to go see what was on record that we've lost over the years.
I'm sure it would change a lot of shit.
See,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I would think so.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So,
oh my God, Brian. Yes, sir.
So I have a quick question for you here. Did you watch premiere Game of Thrones?
I haven't had time. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I wasn't going to really spoil anything for anybody anyway. You know what I totally forgot though? Which, first of all, I didn't even realize that it was seriously over 500 days.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Episode. Like, no, that's how long it's been. It's a year and a half roughly, which makes sense. Remember when it ended and they were like, hey, it's going to be a long time?
It honestly doesn't feel like that long, if I'm being...
It didn't to me either. I know a lot of people it did,
Right.
which fair enough,
But
Man,
Jesus Christ. Sorry.
but when the episode started up, I was just like, oh yeah, it just was like finally. And then after I watched it, I was reading something and they were like, yeah, only 5 episodes left. And I'm like, oh man, they're right. There is only 6 episodes.
But they're all
It's like,
longer,
son of a
right?
bitch. Well, this week's was 65 minutes, which is just a hair longer. I think they're supposed to get closer to like 80 at some point. But yeah, I was like, ooh, you would think it's weird because I almost I expected the first one to be really long to really set up the final season kind of, and it does, but you know what I mean? Like I really thought they would kind of spend like, okay, let's get all the, the pieces lined up again so that exactly where everybody stands. And like I said, they pretty much do, but
yeah, I'll be taking care of that tonight because, I've been anytime I perusing different apps I enjoy and anything that says like GOT and I'm like, and I just go by it as fast as I can because I don't want to get any spoilers.
I couldn't watch it right away. Yeah, I couldn't watch it right away because I had a brutal migraine. I think that was the first day of it. Was Saturday or Sunday, I don't remember. And anyway, later that night my headache was feeling better, so I'm like, well, I'm gonna watch this because I don't want things all spurtled for me,
Sorry. Yeah, I hear you. Because the internet sucks. Although I think some people are kind of respecting it a little more. The whole,
because it's the final season. I think kind of like, remember when I was trying to catch up on Breaking Bad before they got to the finale? Remember they had that gap before the final episodes, whatever. And I was just marathoning like crazy trying to get there so nothing would be spurled for me as we got into that final season. And it was kind of the same way. Like I was a little behind. Like I think I got to the final season when they were like right as it started, or I was a week behind, something like that. But nothing got spoiled for me, And I think it was the same idea. It's like, hey, this is the final season, But then again, it wasn't all that. It was a few years ago when I started watching The Wire, and as soon as I forgot who, there was someone I mentioned that I was watching it, and they were like, blah 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 ending, and I was like, cool, thanks. Now I don't have to watch 7 years of the show, or 5 years, whatever. Except that it's a good show, and I want it, but now I know the ending. It's like, I'm way less motivated now.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than people that spoil shit like that.
Now, don't get. And I couldn't watch it beforehand because I didn't
have the access.
Didn't have
right.
Yeah. Now that I have it, it's a different story. But now I just need freaking data plan. Let me watch all
baby steps.
Man. So also I watched this week.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of HBO, started watching
that's great.
Crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I watched the whole first season. I haven't watched any past that yet, but because there's only 3 seasons of it, I think the third season is the final.
1 and 2. I haven't watched 3. Yeah.
There is a lot of really familiar comedians either on the show or behind the scenes, writing, and all that stuff. I couldn't get over how many big name types are involved, which explains why the show is written really well.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I'm a
really
big fan.
Yeah.
It's so good in that role. So good. Yeah, and man, just I love R.D. Lang as his
right.
spirit animal,
Oh yeah.
Because they're so different, Because for those who haven't watched, Pete Holmes is he's playing an aspiring comedian, and he's basically a goody two shoes. He didn't have sex till he got married. He barely drinks. He had never tried weed. He just, all these things that everyone else, took for granted or whatever, or partied. He didn't do that. And R.D. Lang, if you're not familiar, is a guy notorious for doing coke and drinking and
multiple stab wounds.
Yeah, he's led an interesting life.
Howard Stern stood at Mike for a long time.
And it shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's actually where most people know him from. But, boy, Yeah, he looks
just
rough.
a little bit, huh?
But he's always looked rough. I mean,
Yeah, he's never looked like amazing. That's for sure.
yeah,
I mean, let's be honest.
yeah, right. You're right. He's never looked that way. So, but anyway, yeah, good show. It's there's some good stand up in that too.
Yeah.
Um, what is really interesting to me, and I really love to know this, is there's some scenes in the show that I really feel like that's actual banter, like not scripted banter. Like I don't know how much you remember of the show, but like when Artie Lang has Sarah Silverman on his podcast and they call Pete Holmes, the banter between them and Pete Holmes feels real. It feels like a real podcast, conversation. It didn't feel
Maybe it's
scripted.
like it's kind of like Curb. We're like, hey, this is the direction we want to go. How you guys get there is up to you.
Yeah, that's very, very well could be what it was, because it really did. It, I mean, they even went to the lengths of, Sarah Silverman sitting there with a hat on and glasses looking, less show busy, and Artie Lang still looks like Artie Lang.
Just a
So
slob.
yeah, it does. I mean, still seems like he'd be fun to hang out with.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm sure it would be something.
But my favorite part is, I'm gonna spur one little thing, which is I love how they keep, anytime they get into trouble, Artie Lang just hauls ass.
Yeah, exactly.
He just runs.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, it's like, Pete Holmes is getting, a guy comes up to him in the subway with a knife and wants their stuff. Artie starts giving him the, shit. And then he just takes off, and Pete Holmes is left there with the guy, and he's all timid and whatnot. And then when he catches up to him, Artie's just casually eating a piece of pizza. Pete Holmes got his leg stabbed or cut or whatever, Oh man.
Excuse me. It's a good show.
fan.
It's brilliant. Even I don't know. HBO seems to kill it anyway.
Yeah, that's the amazing part. Is like, man, as I was like digging through, I was looking for something else to watch after Game of Thrones, and well, no, I had already been watching Crashing before that, and I was just watching or looking at all the stuff. I'm like, man, I want to watch that. I was like, geez, I've like a lot of it's newer stuff. Like some of the stuff's like kind of snuck out on me, and I didn't realize is in like their third season or whatever.
Right.
So upside with Crashing is they are half hour.
So you kind of plow
too.
through it pretty quick.
You can plow through them, yeah. So, yeah, that's. Oh, have you seen the little teaser trailer DC put up for Swamp Thing, the TV show?
No, I didn't, Brian.
Yeah. So, Swamp Thing, like the outline, like the little bit they show you of Swamp Thing looks pretty cool, and I'm totally in anyway because I always dug Swamp Thing. That's a book that I've kind of off and on read over the years.
He looks very much like the comic book. Yeah.
Right? But I read last night that DC not canceled it. They wrapped production of it after 10 episodes instead of 16. And that the stories that the actors and stuff were told was that basically DC is going to reevaluate whether they want to keep doing the streaming service or not, because it's only available on the DC Universe streaming. And honestly, I get why DC wants Netflix, something like that. It's a little,
Right.
So I kind of wonder if in the end we're going to see DC just kind of like rent their shows out to networks instead, because it's worked pretty well for them with the CW.
I mean, seems like a good way to make some money, right?
Yeah, and then they also don't have to worry about the cost of it as much, because they'll get money from a service to, Netflix, Hulu, whatever it ends up being.
Right.
Well, probably won't be Hulu because that's mostly owned by Disney.
Well, isn't everything?
Well, DC's still not.
They're holding out. Just like Salty Language, we're holding out.
Yep. We're going to be the last powerful entity that they bring under the mouse ears. Man, can you imagine what that press conference is going to be like? Us with the mouse ears on, and various dump trucks full of money behind us.
Definitely wearing big dumb yellow shoes and red suspenders, or whatever, a red coverall, whatever the hell Mickey wears, whatever he's got his mouse dick concealed in.
Just as long as either one of us is dressing like Donald Duck, I'm okay with it.
I don't know, dude. Sailor suit with no pants.
Yeah,
seems erotic.
Still, one of my favorite gags ever on Family Guy, when Peter's gonna go see Disney on Ice, and he's like, "Oh, let me go put on my Donald Duck costume," and he comes back and he's not wearing pants.
That's pretty great.
It's a good misdirect. You expect him to be wearing a Donald Duck suit. Nope.
He had the hat and the shirt, I assume, right?
Yeah, had that, but no pants.
Excellent.
It's like that's still one of my favorite bits. Yeah. So it kind of sucks because I'm like, I saw that trailer and I was like, ooh, Swamp Thing, and then I read the other, I'm like, oh.
Oh.
But I guess they at least let the writers go back and rewrite the finale so that, I don't know, whether they'll leave the door open or kind of slam it to where it becomes more of a, what do you call it, a maxi series or mini series, whatever you want to call, whatever the term is for it. A 10 episode
hopefully leave it open for potential for more, because Swamp Thing's always been pretty cool in my book.
Yeah, and it's a great TV show idea. You can do a lot of stuff with that character because it doesn't have to just be in like one place. He can be in different. It was kind of like Constantine. I was, all excited. Actually, I think that's supposed to be coming back. I think at some point though. So, or maybe he's just going to be around. I can't remember. Yeah. Because that was one of the shows I was very disappointed about. Yeah,
losing because the dude that played Constant, what we talked about is ad nauseum, I think, on our show.
Right. Yeah, we did. We were just gushing over him.
As we'll do.
Yeah, as we'll do.
Gushing over him like a broken pen.
Just talk. You are correct, sir. You are correct. Oh, man. So here's something that I saw a few days ago that I'm really excited to watch. Well, really quick, first of all, WWE Network has been showing advertisements that they're going to have like an Andre the Giant documentary. And it's like, I'm wondering if it's the HBO one and they're just going to show it, or...
Yeah, I bet you they're going to show you one
the
of those on HBO. That'd be if I'm putting money down.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They could literally just, hey, we have all these legends under contract that are familiar with him. Right. They could do their angle on it too, but it covered everything I thought really well. So
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But Vice is doing a 6-part wrestling series of documentaries. Yep. And hold on, let me pull up the whatnot here. The very first one is on Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth.
So, soundboard turned off. God damn it.
The overall thing is called Dark Side of the Ring.
I mean, for sure.
Yep. All right. It says, so this is from the company. Shoot, where is it? There it is. It says, here's the synopsis. From backstage controversies to mysterious deaths and unsolved homicides, this series explores the darkest stories from the golden age of professional wrestling, with each episode centered on a professional wrestling icon, including the tragic love story of WWE Hall of Famer Randy Macho Man Savage and Miss Elizabeth. Wow, that was creepy. The infamous Montreal Screwjob, which stripped Bret Hart of his title. The locker. No, wrong guy. That was HBK and Bret Hart. Or if you ask Vince McMahon, Bret screwed Bret. And And then he got punched.
He
knocked
got
the
knocked the
fuck
fuck
out.
Because it's mind-boggling to you, yeah.
Yeah, and that's no joke. Like when they got into the back area, Bret Hart went right up to Vince and just clocked him.
I mean,
just knocked him on his
have
ass. And I have a feeling Vince was probably expecting it. / like,
Right,
I had that coming. You know, like. Anyway, so the next one is the locker room altercation that led to the death of Bruiser Brody, which is, I believe, still an
Really?
unsolved mystery, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there's one. Maybe it's not him. I can't remember. There's like some wrestling. I think it was him though that died, and it was real weird.
Brian.
Well, I know, but his was murder.
Nice.
Was that case that they gave me? As well as the dark history of the Von Erich wrestling dynasty, the controversial death of gorgeous Gino Hernandez, and a look at the intense allegations against legendary female star, the Fabulous Moolah. Yeah. But yeah, it's what is it? The 6th episode Dark Side of the Ring premieres on Viceland on Wednesday, April 10th.
Oh shit! Already out.
I went to Viceland's website and put in my TV provider, which if you don't get Viceland, I think they have like a free pass thing, but I don't know what you can, like, I don't know how long you get with that. Like, if so, just wait till they're done and then just real quick binge them all. But the first one is Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth. The second one is the Montreal Screwjob. And the third one is about Bruiser Brody. Which the trailer thing for it is awesome because it shows like times when he went into the crowd, like swinging that fucking chain around.
Seems like a problem.
Like a maniac. Well, that was back in the day when, when you were a heel, you lived the gimmick. Like you didn't, like you didn't ride with a face. You had to ride with a heel. That's how Hacksaw Jim Duggan got released from WWE the first time. Was him and I forgot the guy's name. Was it Sheik or somebody like that? He rode with him, and somebody like there was like their car broke down or something like that. Or they got pulled over, and it was in the papers that a face and a heel were together, and Hacksaw
crazy, isn't
got
it?
the hook.
But I guess what do they call it? Kayfabe.
In those days,
yeah,
you had to protect the business. Now everybody knows. Hell, WWE has a TV show called Ride Along that has had heels and faces in the same vehicle. So, like on their trip from one, Raw this week to the next location.
Got, a couple cases of beer in the backseat doing blow off the dashboard.
No. Once again, those were the 80s, Tony. Most of the guys now are like hooked on CrossFit and coffee. Yeah. Most of them do that. A lot of them don't really go out at the end of the night. Like once the wrestling is done for the night, they go to their hotel room and relax or read or whatever. It's quite a different world now. I hope so. Because the cream of the crop rises.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only thing I want to hear in the Macho Man documentary is him stream this.
I'm not a racist.
See, I want to tweak that ever so slightly so it says a little racist. Yeah.
That is like cream, yeah.
But I saw one of the preview
cream. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah. One of the preview things for the Macho Man one showed them talking about his voice. And how a lot of people thought that was a gimmick voice, and his brother, to old school wrestling fans, known as the Genius, he was like, "Yeah, no, that was his voice. Like that was him all the time. Like it." And somebody, I can't remember who it is. I think it was Bruce Pritchard. Was like, that it was probably a mix of the cocaine and yelling.
Like at home, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue, blue fish.
Right. Pulling up to the drive-thru at McDonald's,
Exactly.
Yeah, he's having literature hour. Well, I mean, when your brother's the genius and writes poetry all the time.
I mean,
oh my goodness. I've heard him on podcasts and stuff, and he reads like stuff he's written about different wrestlers or whatever over the years, and it's like, wow. I think he actually wrote all that crap he used to ramble on about before the match or before Mr. Perfect would have a match. So
good stuff.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good times.
We are from God. Oh, okay.
No, let's.
I don't know.
You son of a bitch. Yeah.
So, I don't know if you're I like using Apple News. Are you a fan? Okay. I was a little annoyed yesterday because they apparently had an update I was unaware of, right? So there's a couple articles. I'm like, ooh, I want to read this article. I click on it and nothing opens. Click on it, nothing opens. Click on it, nothing opens. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I reloaded the app, same thing. And then I look in the little corner. It says Apple News Plus.
Oh, really? They got rid of the free service?
So they have a thing. But now that I've read about it, if you're into it, it's not terrible.
Uh-huh.
It's, excuse me, god damn.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Like
sounds pretty awful.
It's basically, it's $10 a month. But it gives you access to like 300 different newspapers and magazines. So instead of paying for like New York Times or Men's Health, blah, 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 it gives you access to all that shit for $10 a month. So for $10 a month, that's not bad. But for people like me that I'm just perusing Apple News and stuff catches my eye, it's annoying as shit. Because it was, as I started paying attention to it, there were so many articles that had the Apple News logo under or Plus logo under it. It's like, you're making me, and I downloaded Google News. I'm like, you're making me go through a different channel now because I don't want you to present me stuff that I want to read and then I can't unless I pay for it.
Right. That's what I used to use Flipboard for a long time. And, because it kind of would learn, your preferences. Plus you could add stuff to it and whatever. And that's what I liked about Apple News was it did that, but better. So once I started using that, I ditched. I just said the name of it. I don't remember it already. Flipboard, yeah. I ditched that, So wow, you're right though. I mean, $10 a month really is not bad because it does give you access to papers and magazines and all that stuff. If you're a person who reads all that stuff. But I'm like you. I'm more just like, hey, give me the big news of the day.
Couple subjects I like, and
most of the time.
My life.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not spending a lengthy amount of time.
Yeah, I was a little excited. I get a little more because I understand now what it provides for $10 a month. But when I'm last night, when I'm on break, I'm trying to read stuff, and I'm getting pissed off, and now I'm downloading different apps.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah, I get it. Because I would do the same thing, yeah. I hadn't even looked at it. Or I haven't, excuse me. All I've really done is like when there's, how you get like the update thing, it'll pop up and be like this story. And it's, a lot of times that I just would read them from there. I haven't really been on it a lot the last few days. But that's disappointing.
Do we want to talk about Aquaman?
Oh,
you brought this to my attention. Apparently, kids and kiddos out there, Jason Momoa, a.k.a. Aquaman, a.k.a. Khal Drogo, a.k.a. Conan the Barbarian, because he did play that role too, shaved his big old manly beard, and now he looks like this, which I know, this is why he should be on the live stream, SaltyLanguaPod on YouTube. I mean, he's still a handsome devil. Yep. I'll give him that.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, yeah.
Still. It's like anyone that ever shaves their beard when they got a big, magnificent beard, you just look like a child. Although he still has a 5 o'clock shadow situation. So I guess he's not as childlike as most people are. But still.
Right. Yeah, like if I shave,
exactly.
I look
if
like
I
I'm
shave,
12.
I look like I just got off a spaceship. But he shaved his beard to raise awareness for recycling aluminum, which seems like a really odd subject.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of people recycle aluminum already.
Yeah. You know, I'm glad you brought that up. That's something that has just cheesed me off for years. Is how many times like somebody like there'll be something going on and they'll be like, "Oh, we're doing this to raise awareness for this." You know, like the one I'm going to use is we've kind of beat this dead horse already, but breast cancer.
Yes.
We're all aware of breast cancer. Like the money needs to go to researching things, not raising awareness, which is why I don't generally give much.
Yeah, like
we're
super
well,
aware.
one of the reasons I don't support.
Believe me, I'm sure Brian feels the same way.
Yeah,
I
it's
want
like
to
we all
protect
get it.
as many titties as I can. Yeah. Even if I got a
Absolutely.
Secret Service, my hands in front of them.
I mean, but but it's like then you hear like I forgot what podcast I was listening to, but it was there's someone on there was talking about I think it was a TED Talk or the TED Radio Hour. There was a woman on there talking about how basically out of all the research money for cancer, the money that goes to pediatric cancer is like around or less than 10% of it. It's like, okay, I mean, we all love titties, but I mean, most people, like, maybe we should save the kids,
Exactly.
You're right. Them titties been around a long time. Yeah. Yeah. Jeez. But yeah, I don't know. I'm so tired of whenever I hear stuff and it's like there are times when people do need to raise awareness. Mental health has needed people to really, get open and talking about it, all that kind of stuff.
People are aware of how bad
and there's been
sex trafficking really is. Let's raise awareness.
Yeah,
of
that's
that.
a great example, actually. Yeah, because a few years ago when I read the statistic that like our area is like one of the densest areas for human trafficking, I was like, whoa, like how do we live here and not know
Meanwhile,
that?
Momoa and all his friends are shaving off all their beards because people aren't throwing enough cans in the blue bin.
I'll tell you what, if I see him, I'm throwing a can right at his face. Be like, grow your beard back, and then running because he'll beat the shit out of me if he catches.
You better throw like a 12-pack at his face and hope he's not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hope he's surprised.
A full one. Yeah. Or just really thirsty. Like, thanks, buddy. Like he just catches it. And because he's so smooth, he catches it, and as he's like, turning it to like bring it down away from his face, he happens to pop one out of the ring and crack it open, all in one motion.
He cuts the ring so its sea turtle doesn't die. Mm-hmm.
Naturally.
God damn it, Jason Momoa being the manliest man on earth, catching a case of beer flying at his face, simultaneously opening it and protecting the animals.
Right. All in one swoop. It's I don't like it. I feel like The Rock would do the same thing. Like I feel like he would just crush the thing,
like 42 pancakes.
of beer.
Take a Kevin Hart-sized dump.
Yeah, and drink some tequila. Have you?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Do you follow him on Instagram?
I haven't seen his posts in a while, though. Probably because I don't upvote him. Instagram works now.
Okay.
Or not upvote.
Was it a month or so ago to something like that? He posted he's going to have his own brand of tequila because he's a big tequila fan. And he showed this picture of like his table with like, I don't know, 40 bottles of tequila and each one's different. They're doing the tastings and stuff. I was like, oh boy, that's a lot of dangerous right there.
Tequila.
So I hope his cheat day wasn't. Yeah, I was going to say, I hope his cheat day wasn't,
I mean, it's a good cheat day.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, it isn't. No, it's not.
It's an okay cheat day.
It'd be a horrible cheat day for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Giant plate of them cookies he eats where he just smears peanut butter in between two of them and eats them.
Oh, man, dude.
Then he eats like 6 of those.
Yeah, every once in a while, I'll go off the rail. Like I've been like off the rails lately for some reason. I gotta dial it in, Brian. I've been eating like a savage. But every once in a while, I'll go get like a nice, like good bar of dark chocolate, and I just dunk them mugs in peanut butter.
So you're saying you get your chocolate in the peanut butter, eh?
So I got another thing for you. And thank God we don't live in Great Britain for this. Well, actually, we're old, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I think it's in May. I don't remember it. Of course, why? Oh, there you go. July 15th, because it's in the link. The UK is going to require porn age verification. So, like, say Pornhub, say they go, we're not doing that. Then, in all the servers in the UK, Pornhub will be blocked. Right?
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Wow.
What I want to know,
that's definitely going to change Pornhub a lot.
I want to know how the hell they're going to do it. Because you remember, us growing up. We were the early days of the internet, the Wild West. But you go to a porn site, someone's like, "Are you 18?" Yeah, and then you're in.
Of course, I am.
One click.
I'm totally a real adult.
So I'd love to know how they're going to figure this out, because obviously that doesn't work. And because I scanned this article, one of the things that someone suggested, and this is mind blowing to me, was that users would have to would have to log into the website, create an account to watch porn, and then they'd have to link that login to documentation such as a passport. Why would what?
Wow.
I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that are like, yeah, I don't want them knowing I jerk it to this. You know?
Right. Or I posted
or
this.
whatever. Or I made that creepy comment or
yeah.
It's just this whole thing's fascinating to me. I'd be curious to see what happens.
Dang it. We need to get Dev on this case. He seems to be our Pornhub
That's true.
expert. Oh man. Yeah, that seems like it'd be really tough to police. It also seems like it's going to be I mean, there's so much like amateur stuff posted, that I mean, are they going to go through and just cleave all of that or force people,
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it. And what's, what do they call them? The VPNs or whatever, when it like bounces your, address across the world. So what stops someone from just getting one of those? And be like, yeah, sure.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
I get it. They don't want kids watching porn.
Well, and they also want to make sure that, like underage people are not being exploited or whatever. That. Totally get that. And I'm all for that.
I'm like, hey, how about you, I'm going to go old man rant here. How about you parent your children?
No. That's ridiculous.
No.
Yeah. Good luck policing the internet, though.
Have fun.
Good luck. Because, ask Pirate Bay about policing the web.
They already let the genie out of the bottle a long time ago. Good luck getting it back in.
Yeah, and like I said, don't get me wrong. I'm not against trying. Because if they even cut the number of underage, porn down 5%, that's great. But it's just gonna be so tough. And like you said, nobody's gonna want to sign up for a site.
Yeah, let me put in my passport so people can know that I'm watching this right now.
Yeah, especially people that really get into some real depraved stuff. Like where it's like, I prefer to keep this really secret. Actually, I don't want people knowing I'm into this.
Well, it's always something creepy, like oh my teenage stepdaughter walked in on me. Look what happened. Or it's always something creepy like that.
Yeah.
So I got that low spot. If you're a UK person, if we have any UK listeners, I'd love to hear some input. Salty language, all that stuff. But
especially as if it as it gets implemented.
I'd love to know what's happening over there. But we have something that's getting implemented soon in our area. That's fucking brilliant, Brian.
Is it free internet?
No. It's not free internet.
Damn it! I will gladly trade my privacy for free internet. just a matter of time before it's gone anyway. I might as well get
It's
some
true.
value back.
It's true.
You know? Yeah.
No, down in Sylvania, Ohio, which is real close to where we are, obviously.
Yep.
They're opening up a DORA district down there, which, if you don't know, is a downtown outdoor recreational area. So basically, that main strip of Sylvania, where like the brewery I used to work at, inside the 5, it's going to be at Main Street, up that road, and then past that, there's a couple more bars up the road. But it's basically one strip of street that's going to have open container noon to midnight. I know.
Neat.
And there's, 2 breweries
I'm fine
there
with
and
that.
multiple restaurants and bars already. So,
I don't mind
summer's
that at all.
coming. It's a nice place to wander around. They got all kinds of cool benches. We might have to take a road trip out there to Sylvania, Brian.
You and your
I know,
bench
right?
scene.
It says May
Just wait for you
1st
to introduce
is when it's
your
gonna become official.
Well, that's
It's really
really
soon.
soon. Convenient.
I know, right?
Huh. That's pretty cool.
I thought so.
I know a lot of people are against that,
There you
but
go.
I don't know. I don't really have an issue with it. I think it's one of those things that, like, you introduce it, if it seems like it's a problem, you can always peel it back, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I think people have a problem with it because they're sticks in the mud.
oh
It's
yeah,
like-
for sure. Well, and a lot of people, every time something that they don't necessarily agree with happens, the first thing people do is run to the
Yeah.
extreme. And, you know, like, well, what about this? It's like, you know, like I've said for years, like this area, you know, Walmart was looking at some property up here in the city, in this area. They voted and voted and voted to keep it out of here because they're like, well, it's going to cause all this traffic. And it's like, it's also going to bring like a few hundred jobs. And well, it's going to put out the little businesses. Like, okay, the ones that employ 2 people, you know, it's like, come on, listen, I'm pro small business, but at the same time, it's like, you got to look at the overall
it's
community, you know?
I
But
totally
whatever.
get that feeling that people have when you open up a Walmart
Yeah.
out in the middle of nowhere, next to a small town, and like
Yeah.
mom and pop's grocery store has been there for 50 years. It's suddenly done. Get that.
Totally get that. Yeah.
In our area,
There's one place that I know of that would get hurt by them, and that's
yeah,
the
I can
pharmacy.
see that. But
They'll
I
get
was like,
crushed by them. Although maybe not, because people in this area are really weird. Like, I could see them. Like, a great example is that place called Zyler's that was, for anyone who isn't local, they sold food and booze, and, you know, like kind of convenience store
They had a
stuff,
deli
but
counter, get some
also
hot meals
a
and
full.
stuff.
Right. And it was kind of one of those like local area things. And when it got bought out by the people who own Tony and I's, you know, liquor store of choice, nobody went to it. Like, people would not go support them because it wasn't the people before. There may also been some element of racism
Yeah,
there.
fair
but,
enough. Although I've noticed every time I drive by now that it's the best named place ever, Girth's Beef. That it's usually they got a decent amount of cars outside, it seems like.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it's
we
all
were
right.
in there. That place, they're doing some legit stuff in there.
Plus Girth's
So
beef.
whatever. Right. Who doesn't want
exactly.
Girth's beef? But, you know, like, the pharmacy people may do the same thing because there have been other pharmacies that have opened fairly close, and people will still use that place, even though it is
Well,
tiny.
I was just saying it's like
you know,
you could drive 10 minutes in multiple directions. You're at a Kroger's, you're at a Meijer, there's a Target.
true.
I mean, it's not like it's the only Walmart's not. It would be the only chill in town. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Not at all. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing is, it's like really what's happening is the Walmart effect, is people, you know, call it or whatever. It's happening. It's just happening around us instead of directly in the city or the town, whatever this is called, you know? Because like you said, with those Kroger opening up, they both pulled away from the food town that was up the street, even though that's fairly locally owned now. You know, it's still there, but it's, you know, the selection's nowhere near as good, except they carry boar's head
Nice.
lunch meat. But, yeah. But, you know, other than that, it's like, you know, and like I said, the other, with those pharmacies, people don't have to drive over here. Plus, on Secor, there's a Rite Aid or something up there too,
everywhere.
or a Walgreens. Yeah, so there's pharmacies all over the place. So it's like over here, that pharmacy would probably still be okay, even if Walmart opened. Unless they came in with like dirt cheap drugs. Like heroin. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, naturally.
Yeah. So, and again, now that, for anyone listening, like I am not pro Walmart in any means. I just, I just see this area where you and I grew up, which is not too far from where we live now. Literally, 5 minutes?
Yeah. At least where you're at, for sure. Yeah.
At least, for me, yeah. That area, you just see it on the decline. I mean, the fact that a plasma center opened up. Like I said, plasma centers don't generally open up in
now we're talking like cool, like plasma weapons.
Yeah, they open up near colleges and poor people generally. Yeah. So, also a T-Mobile opened up over here. So
that's also a sign.
Listen, you can say what you want, but I mean, T-Mobile is generally, not the provider rich people get. Exactly. So it's like I said, this whole area is on decline. So to me, like kind of anything that would help pick it back up a little bit, I'm kind of for, But
speaking of that area and picking things back up, we still got to hit that brewery that's by. But we'll get that out later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks like they're doing a good job of keeping food trucks there on the weekends at least. Yeah, we had a barbecue truck there pretty much every weekend. So, nope, I'm down for some barbecue and beer. Right? Pretty much any day of the week.
But that's the extent of the news stories I got, my friend.
Yeah, we're just over 2 hours, and that's all I have too. So
look at that. I think that might be a show.
Wrap her up. I believe so. Yep. All right. Well, head over to SaltyLanguage.com. All the links are there for all of our social medias, ways to listen to the show. You can check out the networks we're part of, like the Tangibound Network. And watch your back. Danger. Entertainment. So definitely, definitely click around on those to see or listen to some other podcasts. You probably find something else that you're interested in because there's, I don't know, like 7 or 8 million different podcasts. No, it's not Podcast Detroit. Yeah.
That's true. Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, all the links are there, all the stuff. We'd appreciate it if you would leave us a rating and review if you haven't already, and subscribe. Same with the YouTubes. If you happen to watch the replay of this or whatever, if you dig what we're doing, please hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button and the notifications button, and I don't know, hit all the buttons except the
that
thumb
button's the
point
worst
down.
Button.
Don't do that for everybody else, but not
exactly.
For us. Downvote like crazy. No. So yeah, and we appreciate the people who've checked out the replays of the show and listen live and all that kind of stuff. So
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and if you want to reach out to us, generally the best way is on Twitter. You can find us at @salty_language. You can find me at Stunami.
Monotony there. And you can also, Snapchat's not really a thing anymore. I was to say, it's still on our website. So I guess, salty_language on Snapchat, but I don't know. I haven't really done anything for a while. More active at Salty Language on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can find me at Stunami on Instagram. There was something else I was going to mention about that. I can't remember what it was.
Well, it sounds like a good time to plug our other projects, Brian.
That's what I was going to say. I couldn't remember what it was, but yes, that's a great one. Yeah, check out me on the Crazy Life podcast I do about like mental health and just overall wellness kind of thing with Jen and Henno, Henno you've heard on this program before, and if you're a long-time listener, you've at least heard Jen's voice at some point on the show.
If you want to go way back.
Yeah.
And you can find me also at All the Beers Pod. Just dropped the 3rd episode today. KBS, baby. I know, right? Actually,
Nice.
I need to. Like, I keep looking at my fridge. I'm like, God, I have so much beer. I need to start recording episodes.
Right. Or just have me over, whatever, you know.
Either way.
Or
both.
Or both. I'll just sit and watch you. Be like,
You can be a background on the couch. Yeah, my
oh,
sex
yeah,
couch.
lounging.
I mean,
sensual.
guest couch.
Yeah, well, same thing. Casting couch,
Exactly.
couch, whatever. Yeah. Right. Oh man. So yeah, that's I think that's all the links for us and what have you. So, has iTunes ever contacted you yet?
No, I haven't got an email yet. Those bash. I might have to reach out again, maybe, or something. It's actually real annoying because it's like,
you might have.
I don't know. Maybe it might be affecting my listens. iTunes, you
It might.
rapscallions.
Well, it certainly can't hurt them. You know, like
I don't know what's taking so long.
Like, I don't know. Maybe they're just afraid of too much power from us
Just
in the
kill all the
podcasting
servers.
world. Yeah, they're afraid we're going to
Yeah,
take
if only.
over. That's all.
Take that, Steve Jobs.
It happens.
I know.
He's dead, dude.
Take
It
that,
doesn't-
though.
All right. Even in his death, Tony wouldn't leave
Nope.
Steve Jobs alone. Well, he got busy dying. I'm going to get busy making fun of him. So, all right. Well, yeah, I guess so. Until next week, have a beer, you'll be fine. Or have both beers, if you will.
Stay salty. I was going to try and tie in some sort of crazy life. I was like, stay crazy sounds terrible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't quite work as well.
So
Yeah.
let's just stay salty
Yeah.
and then listen to Crazy Life.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I don't really have an ending thing
Don't
for this
shave your
week.
beard, just raise awareness. All it does is make you look like an idiot.
Yeah, that. Yeah, the only awareness you're going to raise, like, here's the one last funny thing about this to me was I didn't even know what the
Right.
cause was until after I had clicked on 4 or 5 different stories about it. They all led with Jason Momoa shaves beard.
Exactly.
So the only awareness that was raised is he no longer has a beard.
Like, I still don't know why that's gonna. How's it gonna? I feel these
People in the
seltzers I've been drinking all night because
Mm-hmm.
Jason Momoa shaved his beard, Brian. They're getting recycled,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Oh, yeah? I was just going to throw mine in
It's
the
kind of
street.
like eventually it gets back to the earth. It's long-term recycling.
Right? People run over it and then it's crushed and eventually it like kind of becomes
Yeah.
part of the road.
Just like the raccoon I had to shovel
Yeah.
up at the end of my driveway the other day.
Listen, as long as it's not you,
Bro.
we're good.
So gross. Who hits a raccoon at the
Yeah.
end of my
Oh, it
driveway
is.
and then it's just there? I had to like steer around it, and then I had
Yeah.
to like the kids get on the bus, and I had to go out there with a shovel and throw it in the woods.
You didn't have to. You could have pulled the move on the internet where you tie a balloon to
If
its
it wasn't
paw.
right in the
and-
middle of my driveway, maybe.
Oh yeah,
And I was
right.
like, hey, I got rid of old Ricky the raccoon out there. Kids are like, oh, thank God. I'm like, what? You didn't like a old flat face
And
looking
it-
at you?
Yeah, right. Well, at least one of the kids didn't bring him in and claim him
true.
as a pet or something. Like,
like
Dad,
my
look, it's
fallen
Ricky.
brethren.
Like, whoa. Yeah. If I had a shot or something right now, we'd
Yeah,
pour one out for
exactly.
Ricky. But
No, he gets nothing.
sorry, maybe next.
You know what he got?
You're right.
An open grave in the woods.
In the fuck. Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's a step up because at least you didn't give him the old shovel catapult over the hedges.
If I had edges, maybe. Well, I do. I'm actually not think about it.
You do, kind of. Yeah.
Yard a pole.
Just wing him into the neighbor's yard.
It actually would be funny to just drop it off across the street in front of neighbor's driveway.
Or better yet, if the neighbor has a grill, just sneak in there and just lay it on the grill. So when he opens it, it's there.
Oh, God, that would be vile.
All right.
Pops the lid off his Weber. There's a half.
Yeah.
There's like half a carcass in there because it's been a week and a half.
Yeah. Be like, ooh, dang it, it's not fresh.
That's so vile. It's even worse if he doesn't open the lid, just starts preheating his grill. Like, you guys smell
Some smell good.
What smells like barbecue and burnt hair?
Like, is it me? Like, at any given time, I might smell like one or the other.
It's true. Shit.
Oh man,
we're still
all right.
We're still recording, aren't we?
Yeah. Thanks. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. But thanks for listening, watching, playing with yourself while watching and listening. Whatever it is you needed to do, we're not judging. Right. So next week, raccoon recipes.
Nice. We'll probably forget all about it.
Hopefully, Tony won't die of TB.
Dude, I'm telling you. If I got something, I might roundhouse my children.
That's fair. See, that's where you should have kept Ricky for a little longer.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's
just
like
put
the
him in
horse
their
head from The Godfather.
Yeah. Like with a sign that says you're next. Oh, shit. All right.
So,
We'll see you next week.
Clear for the audio? So I got to know, because we did, once again, last minute media blitz. And it's like fucking late at night and stuff. Did we have anybody watch? I didn't think so. It's a school night. It was late. I didn't figure.
Well, I mean, technically I watched.
You know what I'm saying?
But, yeah.
No, I'm still streaming it. Ooh. Yeah.
So people could that. Oh,
I was just curious. I kind of figured it was going to be like, that's why I wish we had a set schedule. So it makes it so hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Soon, man. Soon. All right. I'm going to stop the stream. Anyone who watches this, you guys are killer. Thanks.